Today's video is not my normal upbeat video. Today, I'm very upset. Yesterday, I heard about a kid getting shot on Frost Street, on Frost and Genesee, right down the street from the Boys and Girls Club where that major shooting happened not too long ago. And then the same day, a 13-year-old was shot. I'm pissed. I'm very angry. And something needs to happen. Something new, something innovative, something totally different to the approach. I'm not saying this is the cure-all video, but I think we as parents need to begin to look at what we're putting out in the streets. I come from a very bad place. And when my wife died and I had to raise two children all by myself, I have more than two, but two I had to raise by myself. I made a cognitive decision that I would raise them to be what I would want them to marry. If we begin to look at it like that, if we begin to raise our children to be knights in shining armors for the women, or for our women to be good wives to husbands, then we'll see things begin to change. What do you want for yourself? What do you want to have in your household? And it starts at the family base. It starts with values and morals. One, I want my son to be able to provide, protect, teach, lead. And so you have to teach them that at a very young age. You have to teach them that it's okay to open the doors for women. It's okay to spoil them. It's okay to work very hard to make sure that your family has everything that they need. That you want them to be the children that they look up to. You want their children to look up to them, for them to be role models. Same thing for women. You have to teach your daughters that it's okay to want to be spoiled in order to have a good, solid foundation and a good family. It's crazy out here. And if you begin to look at things in that perspective and understand that it's going to take a village in order to take this approach, that we have to hold each other accountable. Pure values, stripping everything down and going back to values. What do you want? What is your dream? What did you always want as a kid, or as a young adult, or as an adult, period? When you begin to put those values in your children, does your son respect women? Does he work hard? Does he know how to earn a living? Is making $40,000 acceptable to him? And can you raise a family on $40,000? I think not. We have to teach them that they can expect more, that they need to be more, and that more is really easy to achieve if you do the work. Hashtag do the work. That's my saying, do the work. How do we get that family structure back? How do we begin to look at what's respectable? We have to teach that. We can't depend on teachers to do it. We can't depend on preachers to do it. We can't depend on rec center people to do it. We can't depend on the government to do it. We have to do that ourselves. Strip things back and get down to values and ask yourself, are you raising somebody that you want your child to marry? Are you raising somebody that's going to contribute positively to the world? Like I said, I had to raise two kids. And when my wife died, while she was alive, I depended on her to do that type of stuff while I ran the streets. But when she died, I knew right then and there that I loved my children enough that I would sacrifice both sides of their families, limit their exposure to the things that I had exposure to. It was an experiment. I had no idea how they would turn out, but I knew that something went wrong where I was at and that something different had to happen. So I limited their exposure to negative stuff. I increased their exposure to positive stuff. I went to the schools. I asked questions. What could they be involved in? We have to begin to do that. We have to be active as parents. Very active. We have to get all in their business. We have to go through their stuff when they're at school. Ain't no privacy. There's no privacy. Know what your kids are doing. Know what they're up to. My kids went to school and they already knew. The minute they went to school, I was under their bed, through their drawers, looking at their notes, seeing what they're scribbling in their notebooks. If there's any notebooks, there's nothing wrong with effective parenting. There's nothing wrong with being a parent all the time. That's how you protect your children. I didn't even begin to follow my career until after Romel had graduated and went to college. That's when I began to work a lot. I worked because I was in real estate, but I made sure I was available to them. I made sure I was in their business. I made sure I tried to give them everything that they could have. My daughter Brianna just graduated, Kenesha. She works 2 jobs. I do have other children. And with my younger children that I'm raising, I'm using that same philosophy. We are the front line to what happens out here in the streets. Parents are talking to their kids like they're friends. You got women gossiping with their daughters like they're their friends, that they have a relationship with their daughters like they are their friends. They are not your freaking friends. Raise wives. Fathers, you want to be cool with your sons and, be macho and, hey, I got this woman and I got that. Nah, you got to raise your sons to begin to respect women. I had my share of disrespecting women. I teach my sons not to do that at all. So while there were kids yesterday shooting and getting shot, my son is in Jamaica at NYU on another black male conference. My daughter is in Buffalo working 2 jobs. And this is coming from someone that comes from a bad environment. I love my family. We had a very strong family. And I like the things that they taught me. However, my environment allowed me to go off the beaten path, even though my mother was trying to do a good job. However, there needed to be more intervention. We are the first lines of defense. And until us parents stop saying, oh, I did the best I could, or I did this, here's what you can do even more. Hold the people that come into contact with your children accountable. Watch who they're talking to. Control where they go. Control that environment that they're in. So you say, hey, I did the best I could in my house. That's in your house. You're not only their parent when they're home, you are their parent when they leave. So you need to know where they're at, what they're doing, who they're doing it with. I grew up on a street called Chandler Street in Rochester, New York, and those parents, for the most part, all came out the house to see what we were doing. All the parents knew each other. It was very hard to hide bad behavior. Parents are parents forever. Get in your child's business. Know who they're hanging out with. Know what they're doing. Know that you can drive someplace and find out where they're at. You're not going to not know where they're at. You can just drive. Hey, this is where I know my kid is going to be at. You're not there, then why the hell you ain't there? Put tracking on their phone so you can... Kids are going to be slick, yes. But we have to be diligent parents all around. I'm very, very pissed this morning. Very pissed. I know there's a lot more that we can do. We got to do better. We got to do better as parents. And when we parent our kids, we're parenting the teacher that comes in contact with them. We're parenting the parents' parents, their kids' parents that they're hanging with. We're monitoring everything that they do to protect our children from all kind of stuff. We just got to do better. We got to do better as parents.